That was a big up, wasn't it? That was brilliant. I was acting in a film yesterday, so my voice is a bit gone, but I'm going to get the money and materialistic thing out of the way. If anyone wants copies of my books, The Romans in the Vale of Glamorgan, at the end, special price £10 and you get a free gift. That's that done. So they'll be here until 2 o'clock. So what I want to do is have a little look at how I've actually got here. I'm actually a Barry boy. I listened to a little bit of the last lecture, but I had to dash off quickly. But one of the things that I've always felt with Barry is its history, its heritage, its geology, its archaeology. Everything about Barry is understated. We're on Barry Island, and for many years, people used to get very distracted by the beach, by the fun fair, and by very much materialistic things. But one thing around us is something that is free. You've got a beautiful coastline. You've got a beautiful geological past near us in the form of the dinosaur footprints, which many people fail to actually find. When I actually take trips down to the dinosaur footprints, people are always amazed by what's there. We've got a beautiful park in Porthkerry. We've also got beautiful sights and sounds on Barry Island. We've got St. Barrack's Chapel, which sometimes is a place that you look over and you wish you could get amongst those ruins. St. Barrack's Chapel tells a small but large history of not just Barry Island, but of the Barry area itself. A history that is very much spiritual, very much down to our roots, and very much down to the fact of the landscape that we find around us. It's got wells. We used to have about at least 4 wells on Barry Island. But there was one time, as I said to my learned friend over there, that Barry Island was actually 2 islands. And this is one thing that we're actually learning and understanding as historians and archaeologists, that little bit of a headland over there used to be called Little Island, otherwise known as Barry Island. And strangely enough, this big bit of the island here, Nell's Point, the best part of the grazing land, used to be known as Sully Island. And the island over by Swanbridge, that wasn't Sully Island at all. That was Lavernock or Swanbridge Island. Now, with my archaeological past, and with an archaeological past that brings me on to my future as an actor, one thing I said to my son last year, I said, look, I'm 39, I've been doing archaeology for most of my life. And I said, actually, I want to embrace that part of me that I've always wished to embrace. That part of me that's an entertainer, an actor, somebody that's able to give out information that very few other people can do. Actually stand here without notes, without prompts, without the need for a microphone. And the point is that I decided to go into acting full time, and I've been a professional actor for about a year, but I'm still teaching the archaeology. And I said to my son, I'm going to pack in the archaeology completely, and he said, don't do that, Dad. It's the archaeologist that's made you the actor. And I thought that was very, very fitting from a child of 14 years old. Now, over the years, I've actually published 3 books, 2 of them about the Romans, one behind me, and another book which was called The Celtic Way. I was a sub-author in that. And one thing that I can really see from my acting life now is what I've actually gained as an archaeologist, what I've actually seen around me, those points of the landscape, the horizon, everything that makes us us, I bring into being an actor. Now, one thing I'm really seeing in my life is actually to actually understand who you are and to actually understand where you're going. You've got to embrace those things that you were always ignoring when you were a child. How many of you in this room, in this area today, and there's over 40 of us, which is absolutely fantastic. Very few Barry events can get this number of people along. You may have thought there may be hundreds here today. I thought there'd be 5, and that would be all the speakers. But it's brilliant that we've all turned up today. And one inspiring thing that I would really say is that for many, many years, there's always been something in me to actually say, maybe you should go to theatre, maybe you should actually be an actor, maybe you should actually entertain. And I struggled for years and years, being an archaeologist, sort of looking at those artifacts and thinking, I actually want to do more with this. I actually want to bring this stuff alive. And when you actually go into schools in costume and you actually entertain the children and you actually say, look at what's around you, more than beyond the archaeology, more than beyond the geology, more than beyond the natural landscape. And you can actually connect and respect things. One of my particular loves at this present moment is actually trees. I love yew trees. I love oak trees. I love the sense of age. I love the sense of perspective. I've given whole lectures on having a connection with trees and what trees mean and what the ash tree means, what the yew tree means, and all these different things. And that comes from a very understanding of the past that I've got. And on another note, and I know I've only got 10 minutes, which I've probably already overdone, but on another note as well, one thing that we all find in our lives is being very materialistic. And over the past 3 weeks, I've actually taken the stage a bit further from being an archaeologist, being an actor. I still teach archaeology as well, so I'm available to give talks on archaeology, but like this, as mad as a box of frogs. And when a woman said to me once in a lecture that I gave in Penarth in late last year, she came up to me and she said, "Can I have a word with you?" No, she wasn't asking for a date, but she had already bought a copy of my book. And she said, "Can I have a word with you?" And I thought, oh God, there's something wrong with the book. And she said, "In life, there are moments of light, and you've given me one of those moments of light." And one thing I'm actually finding is this sense of the inner child as well. That I'm actually leaving everything behind at home. I've left my mobile phone behind today and everything other than my book. And I've actually gone out and I've actually started exploring the world again. I'm actually climbing trees and all sorts of things. So those trees that I talk about and the history and archaeology that I talk about, I'm exploring from another angle, that inner child. And from that perspective, you can really understand what's around you. Thank you very much.
Big hand.